ya dari Nadia ya, dari Nadia Firdani ya, asking sebenarnya what are the things that we are going to study in our stylistics katanya. A very good question, elegan ya, pertanyaan yang bagus. Karena until now it is still floating. Karena in the few first meetings we were still discussing language varieties. Yeah? So probably today we are going to see that where we are going to use these stylistics in researching a certain literary work. Okay. So we shall begin from the nomenclatures, or simply we can say that devices or instrument such as onomatopoeia. This is a combination of speech sounds which aim at initiating sounds produced or found in nature, such as sound of wind, sea, and thunder. First, that is about sound. Second is alliteration. Yeah. This is the first, yeah. So, onomatopoeia. And then the second is alliteration. Yeah, alliteration. Again, this is a phonetic stylistic device. Yeah, phonetic stylistic device aiming at imparting a melodic effect to the utterances. Okay, the repetition of similar sounds, especially the consonant sound. And then we have rhyme also. Yeah, we have rhyme also. A repetition of identical or similar terminal sounds combined and placed at a regular distance. So rhyme exists in all spheres of human activity. So when we are walking also, we are using rhythmic pattern. When we are speaking also rhythmic pattern, singing, whatever the activities we are having in our life, that is also rhythmic pattern. And then when we see that, that is from the phonological perspective. Now let us see from the construction of the sentences, yeah? Or we can say also that the constructions of the utterances. So there are two types of sentences, there are two types of sentence structures that is commonly distinguished as periodic sentence and non-periodic sentence. Okay. This is the first periodic sentence. And the second is non-periodic sentence. Okay. Non-periodic sentence is also sometimes termed as loose sentence. So a periodic sentence is one in which the component part or units are so composed that the syntactic structure remains suspended or complex until the end of the sentence, and the effect tends to be formal or oratorical. While the non-periodic sentence or loose sentences are more relaxed and conversational in their effects. So we can simplify this by saying that a periodic sentence is a sentence that has been deliberately structured to place the main point at the end. I repeat once again, to put the core, the message at the end of the whole sentence. Let us take one example, a quotation from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Yeah? I'll give it for you. This is the sentence. This is the example of periodic sentence. To believe your own thought, to believe that is what is true for you, is true for all men. That is genius. Where is the core? Where is the core message here? At the end part. So this is what we call as periodic sentence. Okay? And then in prose style, now we come to prose style. Yeah, in prose style, again, we have two categories of this structure. The first is called parataxis, and the second, we call that hypotaxis. Yeah, parataxis and hypotaxis. Parataxis is simply composed of para and taxis, meaning beside an argument. More precisely, that is an act of placing words side by side. It is a literary technique in writing or speaking which have short and simple sentences with the use of coordinating rather than subordinating conjunction. So in Bahasa Indonesia also we can say that this is more or less, this parataxis, kalimat majemuk setara. Joining two simple sentences by using coordinating conjunction, we call that parataxis. So in stylistic term, we use parataxis. We are not using compound sentence. Okay? Any questions so far? Sampai sini ada pertanyaan? For example, when they are in parallelism, we can say the boy is what? The boy is intelligent and he is also industrious. So we can find the parallel message here. The boy is clever, but the sister is lazy. This is what we call as parataxis. So both have the principality in their standing. We call that parataxis. And then we come to hypotaxis style. So hypotaxis style is in the temporal, causal, logical, and syntactic relation between variant units, and the sentences are specified by words such as what? When, and then, because, therefore, so far, like this. Well, in order to, as a result, or by the use of subordinate phrases and clauses, hypo means beneath. Hypo means beneath or below, or unequal sentence structure. Example, Ode to Nightingale by John Keats. Yeah? A very famous poem by John Keats. Yeah? Yeah? Ode to Nightingale by John Keats. You know this person, John Keats, is one of the giants of Romantic era. Yeah, a giant of Romantic era, apart from Percy Bysshe Shelley, and then Lord Byron, and then William Wordsworth. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
So, like the periodic sentence, it can be placed at the end of the sentence, sir, as
What
the
is that?
main clause.
What is that? Who is talking here? Anna, yeah.
Saya, sir.
Oh, Harimisa. Once again, Harimisa.
So, I said that the periodic sentence, it can be places at the end of the sentence as the main closer.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It is just a matter of style. Yeah? It is just a matter of style. We are not attending to the norms of grammar. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is just a style. Well,
Okay.
let
Thank
me
you, sir.
write for you the point. Yeah. For a draught of vintage that had been cool along each in the deep delve earth tasting of Laura and country grain. A stanza, second stanza, yeah, line 11 to 13. This is one of the extract taken from Ode to Nightingale by John Kidd. Yeah? Now, so the word here, pure, ornate, florid, and then gay, sober. We have the word simple, elaborate, and so on, are the kinds of styles used in English. So English style is also classified according to the periods or convention of literary history. Remember that, yeah? So the category is also based on the conventions of literary history. For example, metaphysical, restoration prose style, and then what? Biblical style, euphemistic style, Miltonic style, and then Shakespearean style, romantic style. So that is what I'm going to say here, that the style in literary texts are also based on the historical background of literature. Okay, that is the first thing. So we can say that style is the result of choice-making activity in language use. The normal and a special both whether made in textbook or in the real life. In ancient time, for example, for Aristotle, what else? Cicero, and then, yeah, Cicero, style was considered as the ornament of thought. Yeah, ornament of thought. Considered as ornament of thought or proper words in proper places. Yeah. This is also style. And then we have also, when it is tied to the personality, we have psychological theories of style. Yes, psychological theory of style that are based on the assumption that it reflects one's personality. Whether we believe it totally or not, but there exists the theory. The style, the way of our speaking, the way of our writing, the way of our using words, lexicons or whatever they are. This is a mirror, a reflection of our personality. Okay? Jadi dia merupakan cermin kepribadian. Language is the mirror of our personality. So we can, from this, dari sisi psikologinya, we can say that the style is the man himself. Paham kan? So the style is the man himself. This is tied to the psychological theory. So generally, they appear to distinguish approaches in stylistic. Ada dua pendekatan dalam stylistic. The first, the mode of formal stylistic. Mode of formal stylistic, ini pendekatan pertama. Yeah, the mode of formal stylistic. Here, style is identified in quite traditional way by making the distinction between content and the form of the text. The content is often denoted as information. Isinya kan information, meaning or some proportional meaning. So in this mode style, it is taken as variation in the presentations of the passage, information, or the propositional meaning that serve to distinguish and after its aesthetic quality or reader's emotional response. Stylistic, apart from being an integral part of different style, itu dibagi lagi, is subcategorized into 5 sections. Ada 5. The first is linguistic stylistic. Ini yang pertama. The first is linguistic stylistic. And then we have literary stylistic. Ada literary stylistic. And then ada stylistic and discourse subkategorisnya. And then pedagogical stylistic. Kemudian stylistic and the foreign language learner. Okay. In the same fashion, the style is analyzed concisely in 5 different ways. Dianalisis dengan 5 cara. Pertama, style as personality or individuality which appears to be a relational term. Itu yang pertama. That is the first, ya. Second, style is choice from variants. Second, and then style is also a deviation from the norms of language. Deviasi, penyimpangan terhadap norma. The third and the fourth now, style as situation or relationship between message and form. And then the last, fifth, it is a phenomenon. Inilah dia ya. Okay. Now it is time for us to see how we can implement this stylistic in a certain literary work. Let us take this one. Ya. Ini contoh dulu ya. By William Wordsworth. My heart leaps up when I behold a rainbow in the sky. So was it when my life began. So is it now I am a man. So be it when I shall grow old or let me die. The child is father of the man. I could wish my days to be bound each to each by natural piety. Okay? Tadi oleh siapa tadi? William? By William Wordsworth ya. Sudah jelas kan? Deborah, coba baca sekali lagi ya. Once again, you read.
My heart leaps up when I behold a rainbow in the sky. So was it when my life began. So is it now I am a man. So be it when I shall grow old. Oh, let me die. The child is father of the man. I could wish my days to be bound each to each by natural pity.
Piety.
Piety, sir.
Yeah, you pronounce the word piety. Well, the poem at first may appear to be of simple little rhyme. Rhyme persajakannya, which seems to be a product of emotional upheaval and of remarkable skill. People may think that short works are more difficult than writing a long one. That is right. Yeah. Presenting, therefore, a complex idea is not such an omniscience when one does it in many pages. It is when that the same complex thought is to be distilled until it is potent essence remains, the true genius is required. This is what we call, and the result is the rainbow. First, I have the liberty, would emphasize on the linguistic aspect of the text. The half of the point is in present tense, see? And other half in future tense. A single line, so was it when my life began. Ya, coba perhatikan itu ya. So was it when my life began. It is in the past tense in setting. And then the lines, my heart leaps up when I behold, so is it now, I am a man, or let me die, and the child is the father of men, are openly set in present tense grammatically. The second other half line, so be it when I shall grow old, my days to be bound each to each by natural piety, are set in the future tense. The first half of the poem is about the present condition, evolution, and development. The central point of the poem lies in the child is the father of men. That is the core point of the poem. Once again, the child is the father of men. How could it be? Meaning that we are going to learn more and more from a child, or it is much better for us to learn from a child rather than from an adult. That is the big question. Bagaimana kita harus belajar dari seorang anak? The second half of the point expresses all about hope, expectation, and natural piety. That is one of the major features of romanticism. So natural piety, you know the meaning of natural piety here? That nature is religion. Nature is religious. Nature is the center of religion. Nature is the center of philosophy. And nature is also life for human beings. So this is one of the significant feature of romanticism, apart from contemplation, love, and then what? Supernaturalism. Okay, let's move. And then the line, so was it when my life began. So was it when my life began. Here it tells the element of permanence in the temporary world. The pronoun I occurs 4 times. My 3 times. In 9 lines only. This reflects true nature of involvement of the self and personality, which is quite prevalent subject in romanticism. Okay, the adverbs are quite suggestive. Yeah, psychosocially as up, when, and now. The main verbs here, lives, and then what? Behold, began, grow, wish, and die are representing the phenomenon of spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. Yeah, spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. This is a very famous definition given by William Wordsworth. Yeah, let me write it for you. He's giving us a very controversial concept and definitions of poetry. So what is poetry? He will say that poetry is spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. So there are 2 requirements that are highly needed when we are going to produce a poem. The first, emotion, strong feeling. Secondly, spontaneity. So these 2 major points are very important in producing any poem. Spontaneity and then feeling. What type of feeling? Strong feeling, emotion.
Sir, can I ask a question?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Sir, if poem should made by spontaneous thing, why then the analysis of poem can be that deep?
This is not a matter of analysis. This is a matter of producing something, because poetry is directly related to our feelings, so spontaneity is highly needed. But when you are going to make a certain analysis, a certain research on any literary work, spontaneity is to be impended there. Okay? So it is just a matter of producing a certain point, spontaneity. So our feelings should be triggered first by a certain thing. That is what I mean by spontaneity. Okay, and then followed by our feeling. Empathy, that is a powerful feeling. And this empathy is triggered by a certain occurrence. Okay?
Okay,
Well.
sir, but okay, can I add more, sir? Because I thought that when creation of a poetry or novelist are doing their project or doing or making something, probably it's because from their imagination, their feelings, their spontaneity. But how can after that from the start point of view, people analyze it and make it into article or make it into another theory.
Okay. So once again, at the very beginning, I've already told you, Nadia, that this spontaneity, this is what we call as a controversial definition and concept of poetry given by William Wordsworth. And then what you say is correct. We need imagination. We need a deep contemplation where we are going to produce something that is very beautiful, aesthetic, that is in the form of poetry. That is right. So this is just what we call a controversial definition and concept of poetry given by this man, William Wordsworth. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Is that? Okay. So now, from the aspect of literary criticism, the poem embodies the following romantic themes, such as the importance of emotion, the idea of importance and holiness of nature, the idea of transience of joy, the ecstasy of revelation, the spring, creative power, the concern for the loss of creative power, the loss and joy of childhood, the sanctity and the theme of the exalted position of the rustic man. Let me write all these themes for you.
Sir,
Yes.
can I ask about the main idea of the poem? I just confused because I get two main idea in this poem, sir.
Yeah.
Is it just about rainbow, or about the afraid of the man? The man afraid of his old day. It means dia tentang kebahagiaan mungkin, sir. Indicate tentang happiness, baik itu pas dia dari masa kecil sampai dia dewasa dan dia khawatir tentang masa tuanya. Begitu.
This is the answer to your question. I've just inserted here, Arisa. Nah, itu jawabannya. Ya, the importance of the emotion. Without emotion, ya manusia matilah semua. And then the idea of the importance and holiness of nature. Yeah, nature preservation. And then the idea of the transience of joy. Yeah, joy. Enjoy life. And then the ecstasy of revelation. Yeah. What is meant by the ecstasy of revelations here? This has a deeper meaning here also. So one of the illustration is honesty. That is also the ecstasy of revelation of something that we are hiding. How do you feel, or how do people feel when he is free from any intrigue ideas? It is an ecstasy. So honesty becomes an ecstasy here. And then the spring, creative power, creativity. Spring is the symbol of creativity here. And the loss and joy of childhood, of course, time passes, it is lost. But we can still feel the ecstasy, the joy of our childhood. The sanctity and the theme of the exalted position of a rustic man. So you see that for the town people, probably they see that they are a little bit underestimating their country cousin. Here, William Wordsworth is trying to uplift the existence of the villages, the existence of the rustic men, because this is the orientation of romanticism. Everything is back to nature. Is that clear, Harinisa? So your question, this is an example, what you call, it is a coincidence to show that we have already implemented spontaneity here. You are making questions and I'm giving the answer. Yeah? It is a coincidence here. Good.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So the importance of overwhelming emotion is exposed in the very first line of the point. The idea is the foundation of reaction movement, which was a reaction to the inordinate emphasis being put on reason. Empirical knowledge and book learning by philosophers of the Enlightenment to the downplay of emotion, intuitive knowledge, and natural learning. The importance of nature is another romantic. An experience out of doors as he gazes at the sky. The idea of transient of joy, the rainbow, an eternal thing, a starry way to heavens, a bond that one feels with God in a state of joy. Here in the poem, we have two major themes which are quite hard to deal with separately. In William Wordsworth's view, they are inextricably intertwined. These are the themes of quasi-loneliness of children and the pitiful recompense state into which we drift as we age, and the concern of the loss of creative power. And then here you see here, let us be back again to the analysis here. So be it when I shall grow old or let me die, okay, are expressing a yearning for ongoing union with the ultimate reality. Yeah? The ultimate reality, a continual sense of harmony with the universe, a want of natural affinity for nature as does a child, and wants to find creative inspiration here. There is a noble quest, but also there is something which will be there. Yeah, we call that ultimate reality. This is a term in philosophy. We call that ultimate reality. Yeah? The unification with nature, unification with universe. Yeah? Ultimate reality. We call that. Yeah? There is fear that the joy will leave him. Okay? The author here, William Wordsworth, sees childhood as a time full of awe of nature, innocence and intuition. The idea of child is a wiser philosopher rather than the bumbling adults. Through the notion of the significance of the common man is not mentioned directly here, by choosing classical ballad stanza, the poet is telling great deal about his values, the poetic form that is used for folk song of the time, the poetics of rustic people which rose to an exalted position by the Romantic school. Okay, so here William Wordsworth must have taken the service seriously important in his time when urbanization and industrialization were lulling men into a spiritual atrophy. He looks concerned with moving the reader emotionally for prodding him to re-establish his too long relationship with God. And so in our time, that is all virtual at the verge of total spiritual and intellectual decay. Okay? So William Wordsworth, we can say that he's a poet of nature. So far, anything you are going to ask? Now we are going to discuss something about the, what we call it? The orientation of our stylistic. Ini yang tadi saya katakan dipertanyakan oleh siapa tadi, si Nadia. Apa sih yang kita pelajari katanya? Okay. Actually, what are we going to learn here? First, what does stylistic study? Sebenarnya belajar apa kita stylistic? What are to be analyzed through stylistic? Pertama, level of stylistic analysis. Nah, inilah ya, kita masuk ke sekarang. Okay, level of stylistic analysis. What ini kan yang kamu tanya kemarin kan Nadia? Kita sih belajar apa sih di stylistic katanya? Good question, elegant question, pertanyaan yang sangat bagus. Nah, I cannot hear you, nggak bisa dengar saya suaramu.
Ya, Sir, saya tidak bisa berkata-kata, Sir. Sebenarnya saya masih ingatnya pertanyaan apakah stylistic akan sama seperti majas.
Iya,
Tapi
inilah dia
mungkin
sekarang
pertanyaannya.
yang mau kita bahas. Apa sih yang dipelajarinya? Karena
Oke, Sir.
beberapa pertemuan pertama tentunya kita I'm not touching about stylistic. Kita kan nggak membahas stylistic, tapi language variety. Sekarang kita masuk. Jadi dia nggak sabaran ya, si Nadia. Mau cepat. Ya mau apa sih belajar stylistic kok nggak jelas ya? Oke. Pertama, graphology. A study of handwriting. Graphology itu study of handwriting. Jadi when you are going to analyze a certain text, bisa dari sisi graphological perspective. So when you start from graphological perspective, meaning that you are going to study the handwriting, the way of writing. So a way of learning more about somebody's character through his writing, contracted forms, apalagi commas, stop, all the punctuation marks. Itu yang pertama, graphology. Oke. Itu not so difficult saya kira ya. Itu poin pertama, graphology yang kita analisis dalam dalam statistik. Kemudian, unsur apa lagi yang kita lihat? Phonology. The study of sound system of a language. Every person knows that. And also describing the formal rules of pronunciation. So the phonological analysis focuses on the analyzing sound pattern, utterance of the different words, and forming systematic use of sound in language in order to know about the meaning, ideas, focuses, idiosyncratic behavior in a text. So the phonological devices are, kamu akan melihat alliteration. Ya, dalam teks alliteration, repetition, consonants, assonance, semua ini berulang-ulang. Itu yang disebut dengan phonological perspective. Jadi yang pertama graphology, the second phonological analysis. The third, yang berikutnya ada grammatical level. Ya, grammatical level yang kita analisis dalam sebuah teks. Ya, grammatical level. So, grammatical level mencakup grammar, Di dalamnya ada part of speech, clauses, phrases used in writing, helping us to find out subtleties of time, place, and about what is done, what is going to be, and what was in the past. So through grammatical analysis of text, we can know the author's intended meanings and foreshadowing meanings and events. Yeah. And then tingkat leksikalnya. Inilah poin-poin yang mau dianalisis. Yang mana terserah. Lexicals are total amount of vocabulary, items, and use of word in a piece of text. Betul kan? Lexical level we can say covering the study of individual words and idioms in different linguistic contexts, involving the study of semantic, word formation, as well as morphology. Nah, ini sosio gramatikalnya seperti ini dan juga berkaitan dengan meaning. What does it mean? You look so beautiful today. Bisa dilihat. Yes, you look so beautiful today. Maksudnya apa ini sekarang? Ya? I'm just going to show. Jadi kalau you look so beautiful today, jadi selama ini kamu nggak cantik. Ya kan? Only today you look so beautiful. Jadi kalau ada yang bilang you look so beautiful today, berarti dia jujur ini ya. Mau mengatakan bahwa kita nggak cantik katanya. Nah, leksikograma, disitulah dia yang dianalisis. Lanjutnya, tingkat semantik. Ya, tingkat semantiknya. What is semantic? Study of meaning in a language. Ya kan? Meanings are judged through the analysis of context. Sekali lagi, it is just according to the analysis of context, not text. Ya. Once again, through the analysis of context, social and individual viewpoint. Masuk di situ pragmatic, it is also a branch of semantic, allowing us to find out the hidden meaning to be judged by the reader through an environment created by the writer or the speaker or the point in a point. So you look so beautiful today. Ini pragmatic. There is a hidden meaning inside the utterance. Yeah. So pragmatic is the study of invisible meaning. I repeat once again, it is a study of invisible meaning in a piece of text, spoken or written. Discussing how we recognize the invisible meanings in a text. It is the context-based study, including linguistic context, thematic context, pre-existing knowledge, and physical context of the text. That is pragmatic. Once again, we are going to find out the hidden meaning. Yeah? The hidden meaning of a certain text. I usually use the word utterance ya, instead of using the word sentence. Dengan alasan sentence, we never use sentence. Ya. When we are speaking, kalau kita bicara, kita nggak pernah mempergunakan kalimat. Ya. What we are using is only utterance. Benar kan? Sentence itu di mana itu? Sentence it is on the text, on the paper. So when we are talking, especially in oral language, we use a utterance. Then we come to discourse analysis. Ini yang terakhir. Ya. Poin yang mau dianalisis ya, apa saja? Discourse analysis. It is a study of text, language, and conversation. When we concentrate in linguistic description, we focus on accurate representation of form and meaning within the text. It also provides us chance to create a complex interpretation of a simple discourse and simple interpretation of a complex language in order to facilitate the readers. So once again, I repeat, what are the things that we are going to analyze in our stylistics? The first, graphology. The second, phonological aspect. And then grammatical level, lexical level, semantic level, and then pragmatic level, discourse analysis. It is around 7 points that we are going to study in this stylistic. Okay. So when we are coming to the implementation, yeah, well, the first thing that we are going to see, for example, there is a point here, the narrative voice and characters, whether we have this or not. Yeah. Narrative voice and characters of a certain text. This is the first step that we are going to use, that we are going to search, that we are going to analyze. The text is, for example, there is a text, and then let us see whether we find the word I in the text or not. When we find the word I in the text, I here represent the narrator. And then the second point, grab logical features. Ya, grab logical features. Itu hal berikut yang mau kita lihat. Ada apa tidak? Berkaitan dengan rhyming scheme. Ya, rhyming scheme. Apakah ada pola-pola persajakan di dalam teks tersebut? Oke. Pola-pola persajakan. Because when somebody is talking, pasti ada pola. Dan itu dikenal orang. Kemudian, the second, systematic formation dalam punctuation. Ya, systematic formation of punctuation. Itu yang berikutnya. Apakah ada unusual capitalization di situ? Ya, unusual capitalization. Okay. And then berapa banyak pronoun yang dia pakai, the use of pronoun, punctuation berapa banyak. And then berikutnya, phonological features. Apa fitur-fiturnya? Alliteration tadi apa? It is the repetition of a certain sound, usually consonant. Okay. And then kita lihat tone-nya. So every single unit of a text dapat dianalisis. And then we can also count the frequency of the use of preposition, pronounnya berapa kali, artikel, dan seterusnya. How they use the adjective, how they use all the part of speech. Determiner, kemudian apakah ada unfamiliar expression? Whether we have unfamiliar expression di dalam poem, di dalam teks. Kemudian apakah ada connotation di dalamnya? Ya, whether we have connotation atau denotation, apa ada colloquial references? Apa ada paradox? Ya, paradox. What is paradox? On the surface level, it is something that is absurd that cannot be accepted, tetapi di dalamnya ada makna. Misalnya the child is the father of man, artinya kita harus banyak belajar persamaan dari seorang anak. Kemudian ada unsur-unsur lexical relation. Ya, lexical relation termasuk compounding. Ya kan, compounding. Kemudian ada conversion. Ada konversi. Ada inversion. Apakah ada unsur anafora di dalamnya? We refer back to the situation, things, person, event, which is called anaphora. Balik lagi kita flashback. Ada word frequency. Nah, and then literary devices and technique. Saya kira di buku yang sudah saya berikan itu sudah ada semua nih. Ada antithesis, ada metaphor, personification, imagery, okay? Ada irony, symbolic, symbolism, ya, dan seterusnya. Baik. Well, until here, anything? Kira-kira gimana? A little bit complicated, agak-agak sedikit membingungkan, ya wajar ya. Every beginning is a little bit difficult, kan biasa itu. Well, today is 10. 20 ini 1, 2, 23. When are we going to have the fasting? Tugasmu kita kumpul tanggal 20 ya, udah bisa? 20th.
Sir,
Nah,
tapi kan ada 2 kelompok, Sir, yang belum punya, yang belum jumpa sama, Sir.
Yang belum jumpa itu nggak usah dikhawatirkan. Nanti kan ditambah 2 hari lagi, berapa hari lagi. Yang sudah bertemu tanggal 20 sudah bisa dikumpul lah ya. Oke. Bisa kan, Miss Nadia? Nadia Firdani. 20th, is it possible? Bisa lah.
Bang Azhar, would you mind to help me? Sir, ini kan grup
Bisa, Sir.
grup
Bisa,
ya,
bisa.
Sir.
Bisa, Sir. Bisa.
Bisa itu.
Sir, izin tanya boleh, Sir?
Boleh. Why not?
Untuk tugasnya berarti yang elaborate yang topik major minor itu dulu kan, Sir? Masih itu dulu kan?
Iya.
Oke. Oke, thank you, Sir.
Oke. How? Is that clear now? Udah jelas kan? Bagaimana mengimplementasikannya? Analisis stylistik. Minggu depan kita masuk ke stylistic features of language. Ya. Nah, ini judul minggu depan. Stylistic features of language. Kalau nggak ada, saya tutup dulu ya. Sampai sini. Thank you very much for your attending the class.
Thank you, Sir. Thank you,
Oke,
Sir.
Sir.
Thank you, Sir.
Thank you,
Sir.
GWS, Sir.
Wah.
Waalaikumsalam. Bang Azhar, kau tanggung jawab ya, Bang.
Iya. Terdengar saya itu, terdengar saya.
Astagfirullah, Sir. Mandi, Sir, saya kira Sir udah pergi.
Oke.
Malu kali saya, Sir.
Ya tutup ya.
Oke, Sir.
Nat. Dadah aja.
Coba, kira
Berapa